Everyone says that if you want to get more done, you just need to do more. You gotta stack more habits, make more time, put in more effort. The only problem is that same mindset leads to burnout. And when you're burnt out, your productivity drops to zero. And it doesn't matter how much you want to work, you're unproductive for days, weeks, months. Who knows if that productivity even comes back? That's why in this video, we're not telling you to do more. We're telling you to do less, but better. More specifically, I'm gonna go over 5 of the best, newest tips I can give you. And then I also want to break down and show you why throughout the day, you don't need more time, you need to view your time differently. And there's a hidden 38% that might be right under your nose that we'll unpack that you can tap into. And thank you so much to Nola Mattress for sponsoring this video. Without further ado, let's run the numbers. 8,760, that is the amount of hours you have in a given year. Doesn't matter how rich, how broke, how successful, how unsuccessful, how unproductive you are, you have 8,760 hours, okay? Let's just say you work 50 hours a week, okay? Like you're going above and beyond and you don't take any vacations. Like no Christmas, no Thanksgiving, nothing. You're just like balls to the walls, 50 hours a week, every single week of the year. 29% of your life is work, or 2,600 hours. Now you're thinking, well, Clark, I can't just work all the time. I need to sleep, I need to rest. That's where section 2 comes in. Let's say you're sleeping 8 hours a night. 33% of your life you spend sleeping, 2,900 hours for most of us. Here's where I'm going with this, and the entire reason I'm showing you this chart. What is this section right here? This 38% that is completely yours. We're not trying to make more time because you might not even need it, right? Like you could work 50 hours a week, no vacations, and still have 38% of your life here. And that we don't need more time, we need to see time differently. That's the missing piece here. I know the natural next question is, okay, well, like, dude, if I have 38%, I mean, that's true, the math checks out. Where the heck is that time going? Number 1, if you were trying to get in the best shape of your life, what would be the first couple things you did? The first thing you'd be like, oh, well, I need to work out more. Yeah, if you really want to get in good shape, you keep a food log. And you track every calorie you're putting in your body so you can optimize, but moreover, so you can see patterns. Whoa, that burrito bowl was 900 calories and I felt that way versus when I eat 900 calories of this food, I feel this way. We even track things at a job. They track your productivity, your outputs, your time, because they pay you for that. But when it comes to our 38%, we never do that. We just assume that we're productive or we say we don't have time. So this is gonna sound really intense, but the very first thing I want you to do, for the next week, you're going to track everything you do in 30-minute increments. This could be at work, this could be eating a meal, this could be watching a show. Doesn't matter what it is, we're getting data on where everything is going before we try to optimize anything. And you might be like, well, Clark, how am I gonna track this? I gotcha. I'll link this down below. I made you a spreadsheet. You can just put in every 30 minutes on your phone or computer or manually write it down and then transfer it in. Every 30 minutes what you're doing. And I even got an example week filled out so you know what it looks like. I got 3 tips that really help you get the most out of it, and then we'll start moving on to the next ones. First one, do not alter your week. This is so important. So if you're someone who plays 5 hours of video games a day, play 5 hours of video games and track that in your sheets. Any unhealthy habits, any routines, if you're scrolling on your phone for a couple extra hours, just put that in there. Don't judge it. One of the most productive things you can do this week is track how unproductive you are in a backwards way. Second, the real goal of this is looking for patterns. You're like, I said I went to the gym 5 times a week. Like I identify as that person, but I really only go 2 or 3. Or I said I don't spend much time on social media, but like, dude, when I look at my screen time, oh my God, it's 5 hours. Whoa, that's crazy. Third, if you do this for an entire month, that is so much data. And then if you take that data and put it into GPT or any AI and say, hey, what are my patterns? That's money right there. That's a game changer. Good on that one, time audits. Again, I'll link that spreadsheet down below. No opt-in required. Smash the like button if that is useful. Moving on. The next way you get more done than most people do in an entire year is you prioritize what is known as deep work. This summed up real quick is 3 things. Number 1, identify your highest level goal. So you want to be productive so you can what? It's a great way to find it. Like, well, I want to be productive studying so that I can pass or get a degree. All right, that's like the highest level goal. I want to create content so that I can grow my business and get financial freedom, 10K, 20K, 30K, whatever the number is per month. I want to produce music so that I can put my art out into the world. That's like the high level goal. Number 2, identify your deep work task. It's the only way you're gonna get there. So if you wanna create content, the deep work task, filming videos. You want to be a musician, the deep work task is sitting down and producing the songs, or maybe even marketing it. If you just ask yourself, like, what's the one thing that if I did, this whole day, I'd feel like successful about, and what's also the thing I'm avoiding? Those 2 questions right there, put together, there's your deep work, all right? Step 3, you do this for 2 to 4 hours religiously every day. That is your deep work block that you use to focus on your main thing. And even if you work a full-time job, you're getting good sleep, and you still have tons of time, 30% of your life to commit to family, friends, everything else by just giving 8% to that deep work that you deserve. So now you know exactly where your time's going with the audit, where this is all breaking down. Now you've focused on deep work, you're sitting pretty good. But there's one section we haven't spoken about, and that is rest. And this is something in my 20s, when I was like grind set entrepreneur bro camp, I skipped over. And I wish I hadn't, because when you start learning about what sleep and recovery does to your productivity, it's amazing. Being awake for over 20 hours makes you as impaired as someone who's legally drunk. You look at Matthew Walker's book, Why We Sleep, there's a famous clip of him explaining that when daylight savings time comes on, the next day, if we lose an hour, heart attacks go up by 24%. And, conversely, when we gain an hour, they go down by 24%. My point here is that deep recovery is so important for you to optimize and be your best. You miss a few deals because you're not recovered properly, magnify that out over the course of your life. That's where today's sponsor, NOLA Mattress, comes in. NOLA is an award-winning mattress company known for its pressure relief and long-lasting durability. They work some voodoo magic to get this big king-size bed rolled up in a box and delivered straight to your door with free shipping. I always think that's so satisfying when it just... It's only 12 o'clock and I'm already a little too excited to go to bed tonight. I've personally had this mattress for over 2 months now, and my sleep is insanely better. I chose the NOLA Evolution King. It's a hybrid mattress with a nice pillow top. I love that NOLA doesn't use any fiberglass and there's no harmful chemicals that are off-gassing while you sleep. There's also a 120-night sleep guarantee. So if you don't love it, just let them know. And it's a free trial for, what is that? 3, 6, 9, 12, 4 months? That's a long time. If you're looking to try it out for 120 days risk-free, head to nolamattress.com/Clark Kegley and use my name at checkout to get an extra $50 off your mattress. That's on top of any discounts as well. So once again, that's nolamattress.com/Clark Kegley. Use my name at checkout and get $50 off your kick-ass mattress. All right, now this one, I want to give you, these are a stack of note cards. Every single week, I have made a to-do list for that week. And most people do to-do lists for the day, but I have found way more benefit in doing weekly to-do lists. Because if you do a daily one, it's too narrow of a time frame that you start prioritizing what's urgent, but maybe not important. Weekly is enough time to see trends and really like 80-20 your whole week. Now, the other week I was doing this, setting one up for myself, and I filmed it for you. So I'll insert that here, and I highly recommend you do a weekly to-do list and give it a shot. Here's how you do it. Now here's last week's and what it'll look like by the end. The only thing you need is a 3x5 note card. Step 1, write the week, date, 2025, or the year and GSD. Step number 2, divide your life up into 3 areas. So this could be work, rest, and play, like your job, what you do for fun, and then self-recovery. And step number 3, you just fill it in, starting with your big stuff first and everything else. And by the end, it should look something like this, but with your stuff. So for me, YouTube, launching a video, which just did this morning, so I can check that off. That feels good. Editing our book breakdowns, filming the video you're seeing right now. And then I like to write 2 per week, maybe some shorts. My Best Journal, finishing some videos in there and making sure the site is up and rocking for our June launch. And then writing our Refusing to Settle newsletter and sending it, comes out Saturday, which if you're not getting it, you're crazy. Link in the description, it's free. Reading and writing every morning. I like to do this right here. This is sort of a habit tracker. So same thing with gym and getting 10,000 steps. I want to lift 3 times this week. So each time I do, check it off, check it off, check it off. Same thing with my morning routine, check, 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 check. Also added benefit, you can look back on your weeks if you're crushing it at a certain point and see what you did and try to replicate some of that. So I want to slow this down for this next point here. And I want to go deep, but also not so deep to where this is its own video, because it very well could be. In my 20s, I had a lot of motivation from 2 places that I didn't expect at all. And I find this motivation is prevalent throughout the whole productivity camp, all of entrepreneurship, anyone telling you gotta work, hustle, grind. And I didn't realize this till my 30s, and I'll share it with you here. Shame and guilt. These are the motivation sources for a lot of high achievers. Crazy. I know that sounds like therapy talk. Guilt. I should be working. I can't take that weekend off. I have so much to do. And if I don't get it done, I don't deserve to feel good. This is what I call productivity guilt. Or it's always on in the back of your mind. Okay, if I'm cooking, then I should be multitasking with a podcast so I can be, productive at all times. You hear things. Someone's working while you're sleeping. If you're not first, you're last, right? I know you can relate to that. Or even guilty if we're resting. And then the big one, shame. I don't deserve to feel love or fulfillment until I prove it through what I'm trying to achieve, right? Or shame can even be I'm trying to prove something to someone else. Because if I can get that validation, then I can validate myself ultimately. Like I'm trying to prove my ex wrong, that's why I'm trying to get in the best shape of my life. That's the motivation. Or I'm trying to prove to my dad that didn't believe in me that I'm not a total up and that I can be successful. I'm trying to prove to a boss they passed me up and they should have given me the promotion. Whatever it is, shame and guilt run the show. And these are very, I'm not making them wrong or judging them because I have that even to this day creep in. I don't think we ever can fully escape this. These are 2 human emotions that are very powerful and drive a lot of actions. But I'm saying from my experience, they're not the best ones. Because if you use those as the fuel, it's like gasoline. Burns really hot, super motivated, but burns you out. If you achieve from that place, what you get is something worse than never getting your goal. You get unfulfillment, discontentment. You're always comparing to people. Well, yeah, I achieved this, but it's not as good as that person, right? Or, I could be doing better. This one is acceptance. Accepting that it's okay for you to have off days, that you're human. You don't always have to be on 24/7. That's impossible. And no matter what it looks like on social media or the influencer or whatever who's telling you to, I guarantee they slack off behind the scenes. They have off days. They have moments where they get sucked into doom scrolling. The other day I was trying to film this video and all day I was putting it off and I just went to the gym and, psyched myself up and got in this state where I was gonna do it and then, it just didn't happen. And old Clark would have been like, you failed. That was the one thing you were supposed to do that day. And the whole day, you're so unproductive, you're so behind. And I would guilt and shame myself and beat myself up into being productive and okay, I'll film the video. Okay, don't bully me anymore. And that motivation is brutal. Versus the new version of me, what I'm trying to be more of and play with and, would invite you to, is give yourself a little slack. You know what? I'm human. I'll be in a better state tomorrow. Guarantee there's going to be ebbs and flows throughout your career. I look at over the span of 13 years, dude, there were some months that were utterly unproductive. I didn't do anything, even though I wanted to, and I still showed up. But then there were weeks where I got more done that week than the last 3 months. And the key here is not to be well, how can I be on 24/7? I don't think that's possible. I think the key here is looking at the macro trend lines, right? Are you going up like this? And if the answer is yes, then yeah, the day-to-days, those are important, but you don't need to beat yourself up and use it and try to like bully yourself into being motivated. That's what I'm trying to say here. Shake it off and just say, let me give this another shot, and approach it with a lightness. You might get more done with that approach. Link down below to our free newsletter. This I send out every Saturday with tips like this and more reframes that you can use throughout your week. It's 100% free. I'll link it down below. Smash the like button, subscribe if you're not already. Would love to have you here on this channel in our community. And I'll link up right here a perfect follow-up. It's our previous video on how to get more done in 1 week than most people do in an entire year. Thank you, NOLA Mattress, for sponsoring. And until next time, guys, stop settling, start living. Peace.